The 2D follow function found in the Functions tab and the Spline FX folder allow us to create a path for something and have a particular element or object or primitive follow that path. So to use this, what we're going to do is first we're going to use the 2D ribbon to create a path. So I'm dragging a 2D ribbon down. I'm going to go into the 2D ribbon editor, and what I want to do is just quickly create a path here. So I'm going to turn on interactive mode in the 2D ribbon, and I'm going to turn my E active so that I can drag these handles around. And I'm just going to quickly drag this around like this and create a path like that. Now I want to have something follow along this path. So I'm going to drag a primitive down, and I'm going to use a cone. And there are actually two ways that we can use this, and first I'll show you the first way and then we'll do the other way. So I'm also going to throw a material on here so we can see the cone a little bit better. I'm going to go back into my Functions tab and use this 2D follow. Now to use this 2D follow, what we need to consider is the path. So I need to have this cone first as a sub-container of this path and then drag the 2D follow onto my primitive. And when I do that, it automatically resets this cone up into the upper left beginning part of the path. And then when I come into my 2D follow plugin editor, we have a progress mode. It's by default set to by length, and we also have by control points. So the way this works is that we can use this path position to animate it. So as I adjust this path position, you can see how it follows the path of this 2D ribbon. Now it's set to by length here. If we change it to by control points and I use path position, it does the same thing. It's just a little bit more sensitive now by using the control points, and this is determined by how many control points you have on your ribbon. So we have a position wrap. It's set to interpolate by default. If we change it to, say, repeat, once we reach the end of this and it goes, what it's going to do is just repeat to the end, and you can see how it just kind of starts over once it's off the screen and then comes back on the screen. If we change it back to clamp or interpolate and do this, you can see how it just kind of goes off the screen and doesn't come back. So we also have these two options for translation offset. So if I want to move this down a little bit or move it up a little bit to have it on top of the spline, I can do that. And when we adjust the path position, again, it's just following it on top of the spline. There is a keep orientation. So as we adjust this path position, you can see how it kind of rotates every time it hits the curve here. If we turn this keep orientation off and adjust the path position, it no longer does that automatic rotation at the corner point, but it does do this little juke move here, and it continues on, and the cone stays in one position. Now if we have the keep orientation on, we still have this orientation offset. So if we want the cone to start in a different position and go around the spline that way, we can change the orientation offset and have it go around the spline that way. Now there is one other option here. It said set remote container. So right now we have it as a sub container. If I drag this out, and let's say we have additional containers within our scene and our ribbon was way up here, we could use this set remote container, and when we turn this on, it gets a 2D ribbon container. And even though it's way up here in the scene, we can drag this up into that little box there, and now it still works the same. Now even though you have a 2D ribbon here and you have this path set up, you may not actually want to see the ribbon. So what you can do to get rid of this is actually, if you click on the 2D ribbon, above the trash can here there are additional icons that allow you to access the editors. And next to the 2D ribbon there is this little button here. If we turn that off, it hides the ribbon but still keeps it active. So if we needed to come over here and now adjust the path position, the ribbon is still active, but we just don't see it.